The 7 deadly sins according to Proverbs 6:16-19. These 6 things the Lord hates, yes. 7 are an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. When God expresses hatred towards something, it carries great significance. Thus, we should be cautious and avoid engaging in behaviors that are detested by God to ensure our spiritual well-being. Let's take a closer look at the specific sins mentioned in the book of Proverbs that God despises. A proud look. This represents the feeling of pride and the tendency to look down on others. Pride is an unjustified overestimation of one's superiority in areas such as talents, beauty, wealth, or social status. It manifests as arrogance, aloofness, and even contempt towards others. Pride is self-centered, focusing on self-exaltation, self-admiration, and self-worship. A proud look is exhibited by those who condescend to others based on their perceived higher status or advantages. For instance, boasting about wealth: I have so much money in the bank, I am superior to those less fortunate. Vanity about appearance: I am exceptionally good-looking, far more attractive than others. Intellectual arrogance: I am incredibly intelligent compared to those less educated. Relationship superiority: I am still married, unlike those who have gone through divorce. Pride often leads to self-righteousness, where individuals view themselves as morally superior to others. A proud person lacks regard for God because they believe they can succeed on their own. Pride is essentially self-worship, leaving no room for God. It is no surprise that pride tops the list of sins God despises, as it is inherently evil and reflects the nature of Satan. Pride led to Satan's expulsion from heaven. As stated in James 4:6, God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. In today's social media era, people often exalt themselves, but it's important to remember that anything good in our lives is a gift from God. A lying tongue speaks falsehoods with the intent to deceive others, whether to harm someone's reputation or to flatter a friend. God is characterized by truth, and falsehood has no place in him. Deceit originates from the devil, who is called the father of lies, John 8:44. When we lie, we align ourselves more with the devil than with God. Ephesians 4:25 urges us to speak truth to one another. A lying tongue is an abomination to the Lord, Proverbs 12:22. The story of Ananias and Sapphira in Acts 5 serves as a powerful example of God's detestation of lying, as their deceit had dire consequences. We must commit to speaking only the truth, knowing that God desires honesty and integrity in our words and actions. Hands that shed innocent blood. This phrase refers to cold-blooded murder, a sin closely linked to the devil from the beginning. While most of us may not have committed physical murder, Jesus teaches that harboring unreasonable hatred or anger towards another person without forgiveness is akin to murder. Matthew 5:21-24. 1 John 3:15 echoes this sentiment, stating, "Anyone who hates a brother or sister is a murderer, and you know that no murderer has eternal life residing in him. If you hold hatred in your heart toward anyone, I urge you to forgive them." Holding on to hatred is unproductive and will only bring negativity into your life. A heart that devises wicked plans. God sees the deepest parts of our hearts, and every thought and intention is clear to him. Jeremiah 17:9 tells us that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Nothing is hidden from God's sight. Psalms 44:21. We must seek God in prayer, asking for a renewed heart. In Ezekiel 36:26, God promises, "I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will take the heart of stone out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh." This transformation from a heart inclined toward wickedness to one aligned with God's will is essential. Feet that are swift in running to evil. This phrase conveys a moral and spiritual concept rather than a literal one. It refers to a readiness or eagerness to engage in wicked actions or sinful activities. It implies readiness for sin. Some individuals are quick to embrace sinful behaviors without hesitation. lack of moral restraint. This highlights the absence of a strong moral compass and an eagerness to engage in wrongdoing. Indifference to conscience. People with swift feet toward evil often ignore their conscience, disregarding the inner voice that warns them against evil. A dangerous path. Embracing evil can lead to moral decay and spiritual destruction, taking individuals down a dark road. This phrase contrasts with the pursuit of righteousness, urging us to be cautious, discerning, and intentional in our actions, choosing the path of righteousness over the path of sin. A false witness who speaks lies. A false witness provides dishonest testimony, often with the intent to cause harm, injustice, or confusion. Speaking lies undermines trust and justice within society. God desires His people to walk in truth, promoting peace and building one another up. Falsehoods and discord are contrary to God's will and character. Proverbs 12:22 emphasizes that lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal truthfully are His delight. He who sows discord among brethren. Sowing discord involves deliberately fostering division, strife, or conflict within a community or among people who should share unity and brotherhood. This is especially harmful within the Christian community, where Jesus emphasized love, forgiveness, and unity. Deliberately sowing discord is contrary to the teachings of Christ and is a serious offense in the eyes of God.